This is AVIOT, Atypical Voices in Our Time, the official podcast of Chemistry Productions. That's spelled K3MISTRY Productions, a media education company.
So go a little something like this. That's AVIOT.
Hey, what's going on, everyone? This is the AVIOT podcast. I am your gracious co-host, Jay Stokes, joined by our other gracious co-hosts, Koya and Jay Random. How's everybody doing?
Yo,
hey
doing
guys.
good.
All right. Let's get this party started today. Basically, I wanted to start with this couple from this show called Love is Blind on Netflix that has been recently gaining a lot of popularity on social media. Miss Lauren Speed and I believe Cameron Hamilton. That's their names. They're an interracial couple from Love is Blind. Have any of y'all followed that show or the storyline at all between these two?
No, but I keep seeing them different places, and like Black women are like, oh, we stand for her, we stand for this, but I don't really know what they're talking about and who they are. But they look happy though.
Who we talking about? Oh, that Love is Blind thing?
The black girl and the white guy. They look happy.
Oh man, fuck all that shit.
Oh no.
So here's my thing. For those of you out there who don't know, I know, right? Are we gonna do the dog walking music this time?
Might as well for that.
For those of y'all out there who don't know about the show Love is Blind, basically these couples get together. It's a social experiment. So these couples get together. I believe it was supposed to be like 50 people that were interviewed and chosen for this show, but they only focused on 10 people or 5 couples in total. Out of these 10 people, only 3 were black, 1 was a black guy, and 2 are black women, right? So what they have to do is see if love is actually blind. So the men are put on one side of this building. The women are put on the other side of this building. I'm really summing it up quickly. And they go into what's called pods. In these pods, they talk to a partner of the opposite sex and they don't see each other. So basically they have to go off of just conversation, not actual looks, in order to see if they like connect with the person, right? But I'm still thinking to myself, even if you're talking to someone, off of voice inflection alone, you're going to be able to tell what the race or nationality of the person is for the most part. Like if we're talking and we don't see each other, I could tell Random you're black. Koya, I could definitely tell you're black. Like I don't need to see you to know. Right.
You didn't hear my work voice, but thank you. Melissa from Scarsdale, honey, knows how to do
Melissa
it.
From Scarsdale? Okay.
Yes.
So basically what happened in the show is the one black guy that's highlighted on the show is bisexual, but he does not tell anybody that he's bisexual. He ends up matching with one of the black women on the show, and later on he lets her know that he's bisexual. She's a little apprehensive to still be in a relationship with him. Yep.
I saw that little snippet. Little snippet, and they were saying how black women are more inclined to be with the DL man because we're not as accepting of a man being bisexual and still wanting to be with him. And I don't even know if that's a color thing. Like some women are just with it, some are not. I'm not, but you know, some maybe. But go ahead.
Okay.
Sorry.
So basically what happens is after he tells the black woman this information, she's a little apprehensive, and she's within her rights to be apprehensive about that. First off, you held that secret from her, and maybe she might not be into a guy who's bisexual. He gets mad, cusses her out, calls her the B word. They end up parting ways. It's a very dramatic breakup. The only other black woman that's left on the show pairs up with a white guy. She falls in love with this white guy within like the first 3 days, and they're in these pods and they don't see each other until about like 10 days later. At the end of the 10 days, they have the option to get engaged to the person or not. So the man can propose to the woman at the end of these 10 days. So so everybody gets it and proposed to. The white guy proposes to the black woman. Here's the catch. The black woman has never been, Lauren Speed, that's her name. She's never been with a white guy before or anybody outside of her race. She's only dated or been in relationships with black guys. So as we progress within the show, they have little to no complications. The only kind of underlying issue is that they're in an interracial couple, and she's a little apprehensive about that, but she just lets it go because he's a nice guy. This is the problem I have with this. She says in the show, oh, no other guy has ever treated me this way before. Now, if we know you've only dated black guys in your history, then what you're saying is no black guy has treated you as well as this white guy has without saying it. You're saying that without saying it. Not only that, but she's never introduced any of her previous black suitors to her parents. She introduces this white guy, Cameron, to her parents. And guess what he does when he meets her mother?
What?
Not the electric slide.
He raps.
Wow.
He raps.
Oh, just as bad. I said not the electric slide. Just as fucking bad.
He raps for the mother. So I'm just saying over here, I'm
Not
taking
the
in all this
rapper?
information. Right.
And
He said
yeah.
he used to rap, and what a coincidence. He's been in a relationship with a black girl before for over 5 years, for about 5 years. I'm like,
right.
wow. Yeah, so I'm like, he probably heard her voice inflection and probably said, oh, this is the
Like,
type I'm
that's
going for.
one. Yeah, that's the
Right.
one for me.
So a lot of people are standing this couple because they've been really lovey-dovey on the show. And the thing is, Lauren's father, who's black, obviously, she encounters him and he's apprehensive about her being with a white guy because he's dealt with racism before, but he allows it. He's like, oh, well, you know what? He's kind of different, but hopefully he treats my daughter well. And then another part of the show, she actually talks to one of her black friends. Lauren talks to one of her black friends and they're talking about their sexual life. And she's like, oh, well, I was pleasantly surprised. And, you know, and she's talking, insinuating his genitalia is such and such and all this and that. And I'm sitting over here saying to myself, this is social conditioning. This is like they're trying to subliminally program people. This is why I'm gonna let you get it in a minute, Koya. This is why the one black guy you have on the show treats the black woman like dirt, and then the other white guy who's with the black woman.
Well, he's a
treats her-
queen, so does that count? They're automatically sassy.
Still, it kind of puts this message out there. Hey, black women, date these white guys because they'll treat you better than a black man will. A black man, he will tell you the untruth and he'll treat you wrong. But look, white guys, look, they're great at sex. See, you can get with these white guys and look at this. They'll treat you better than anyone else. Because Cameron, he has like a really big house and Lauren ends up moving in with him at the house. They are together for like around a month and they get married within a month. So they meet and get married within a month. Part of my issue with the show is, number one, it devalues marriage because I don't believe love is blind, number one. And number two, like, you don't know anybody in a month's time.
Nope.
Secondly, I don't like how it's kind of sending this message out there that black men aren't good. And hey, sisters, you should go to these white men. And as you see with social media, how they are showing this couple and how they've gone viral, it really is something that's being thrown out there. Okay, I'm done. Take over.
Okay. Well, shit, I don't know. I feel like, let's see, how do I feel about that? I mean, it's not really, looking at them on social media, they look happy or whatever, but that doesn't mean to me like, oh, I'm going to get a white guy, we're going to be happy. Like, white men cheat too, you know, so it's not really that, to me, I wouldn't even go that, I wouldn't even go that far out to be like, oh, he treats her like a queen or whatever. But you know what? They have a lot of privilege. A lot of them are born with silver spoons. A lot, you know, black people, we don't have those privileges. So a 30-year-old black guy probably won't be as established and have a really big house unless he worked like 15 times harder than whatever the guy's name is. So,
Preach.
you know, it's just, I mean, you got to use your common sense. It's TV, it's entertainment. It's like soap operas. All that stuff is like soap operas. So if you really take that into consideration for like your real life, then you need a little help.
Yes,
Yeah, I
But
think
obviously
that
you see it's happening.
Black women do need to start being a little more open. We are like the least open to dating outside of our race, out of like any group of people in the world. And black men will be like, that Spanish girl want me? Oh, I'm out of here.
Bye.
Like, we don't even look at the Mexican man. We don't want nothing to do with that. Like, we'll just rather wait around, you know, hoping that whoever we decide to be with, the black man's going to get himself together or whatever. It is like a lot of double standards. I don't know. I feel like if you love a white guy, love him. But me personally, if I date a white guy, he's not going home to meet my mother. It'll be the total opposite. He'll be the one that gets hidden. And yeah, but
Why
it
is
depends
that?
on your family. My mother not having it. That's why she ain't wanting to do with that.
No.
Like, that's not the era that she comes from. Like, she's like, oh, you need to, you know what she say? If they can't use your comb, don't bring them home. That's the rules of the game.
Wow.
Wow.
Rules of the game. You know that's the rules of the game.
Yeah.
Random.
So,
We share a mother, guys. It's the rules of the game.
yeah. My sister's totally right. Mommy ain't having that. When it's all said and done, my problem is I just feel like they're always trying to program us to accept this lifestyle that's not really a lifestyle, as far as it's not as rampant as they portray it to be, as far as, you know, interracial couples. And
No, it's not. Black
it's
women don't
not,
really
but you know, but the problem is though, if you put it on TV enough, you start to have people starting saying, maybe I should. But just keep this in mind for whoever want to date outside your race. Don't think that other race is going to treat you better than your race, because once you start thinking like that, then you're in for a rude awakening. So that's all I have to say. People date who the hell they want to date. I don't care. It doesn't concern me. But for me, I feel like I'm just opposed to all this forcing it down my damn throat. The same thing with when you watch a lot of shows. You don't think they are? Look at the commercials. I don't think
they're forcing it.
Look at the commercials.
I don't think they're forcing it in the sense that not every, but a lot of successful, famous Black men of power, they have white women on their arms. They go to events and galas and this and that with them. So it's just like,
I gotta jump in.
Hey, Black girl, you could do it too.
I gotta jump in.
No, but check this out though. See, the problem is,
I need to jump in.
Hold on. Yeah, we can hold on a second. And to be honest with you, I agree with you. But only problem is, I just feel like it's more acceptable for Black women to date white guys than for Black guys to date white women. Because when a Black guy dates a white woman, I feel like we get dragged in the mud. When y'all date white men, it's like, go get him, sis. Get him. It's like, no, listen. If you ain't gonna drag her, why you gonna drag me? If love is love, then don't look at me when I'm walking around with Becky on my shoulder. But that's not the case. You know what I'm saying? When a Black guy, what's up? I don't know. I
feel like when Black men be dating white girls, they be saying like real slick stuff about Black women, like your Black ass mother didn't birth you.
And you don't think Black women do the same thing?
Not really. I just be feeling like this is just from experience because I'm a Black woman and dating Black men all the time. That's all I've ever dated. A lot of them come with a lot of shit. Not saying that white men don't, but Black men sometimes they'll have like a lot of baby mothers by the time they're 28. Some of them are felons, but the system sets it up too that way. So I'm not blaming them totally. But like my white friends, they go to school, they get out of school, they married by 28, have their husband, brought the house. Like our lives just are really not, I don't know. We live in two different worlds. So some people probably just are like, you know what? I just want to experience something different. I don't think the TV has anything to do with it. Maybe they just tired of dating Tyrone. They want to see what Todd is about.
But the only problem is with this, and and I totally agree, but I always feel like it's a bottom line fetish. And I'm nobody fetish.
For sexual favors, right?
I'm nobody fetish. So when it's all said and done, I am nobody fetish. So as long as I feel like I am a fetish, it's just not going to work for me. I don't know about the next person.
What if they genuinely care about you?
Yeah, good luck with that. I don't know. I haven't really seen it yet. I could be wrong. I mean, I could be wrong. Hey, listen, I am not the all be known. What the hell, the Wizard of Oz? That's not me.
End all be all.
Yes, end all be all. But I still say, I know. But I still feel like I don't know. I just feel like it's an underlying fetish. And I feel like it's a double standard for Black men compared to Black women. Okay, jump in.
Go ahead. It's your turn because you've been ready.
I've been holding my tongue for so long. Okay, number one, yes, it is true that Black men date outside of their race or marry outside of their race at higher rates than Black women. However, the percentage in terms of marriage is smaller. Around 88% of Black men actually marry Black women. So all this Black men all marry all these other races, no, that's untrue. That is a stereotype that's been perpetuated through social media and what have you. Also, the higher in income a Black man goes, the more likely he is to marry a Black woman. Black men who make 100 grand or more are likelier to marry Black women. And we see examples of that even in media. Look at LeBron James, Russell Westbrook, Samuel L. Jackson, Denzel Washington, Steph Curry, Russell Wilson. The list goes on and on and on. Spike Lee.
Russell Wilson actually had a white woman first. He changed the game.
He changed up.
When Black and didn't come back, baby.
He changed up. Yes. So maybe we can X him out the equation. But I'm just saying that we see examples of this, and the examples that we don't see, we have the data to back it up. When you talk about dating, that could be one thing because men all over the place, they just mess around with everything, right? But in terms of marriage, if that is what we're measuring here, like the end all be all marriage, Black men tend to marry Black women more. I also throw into the equation when you say Black women should be more open to their dating options. I think that also applies within your own race. A lot of times Black women will date the same type of Black man.
That is true.
They won't switch up and date like the nerd or the guy that they say is a little bit more boring. But the first chance they get to date outside of the race, then they'll date the exact opposite of what they want in their race. Meaning, if a Black woman won't date a Black nerd, she will marry a white nerd.
Preach.
Does that make sense? So my thing is, it's always about looking at your patterns, because if you're finding that you keep getting Tyrone, you have to look and say, well, am I attracted to a certain personality, and that's why I keep getting burned? You can't demonize an entire demographic based off of your own experiences.
Yes,
there are millions of black men out here. We can't say that all of them are bad. And the thing is, I have nothing against interracial dating. My problem is the black people that claim. My problem is the black people that claim to be pro-black or about their community but date out, because then I believe you're compromised. How can you as a black person talk against white supremacy and talk against, now we're talking about black-white relationships here. How can you as a black person talk against white supremacy and be outwardly against like white people being in positions where they're racist, but then you're sleeping next to a white person? Like that, to me, you're kind of
in a person's down for the cause.
How down are they, though? Are they just the ones that say, I will march with you? Or are they the ones that say, I will give up some of my privilege in order to make sure that your people are okay?
Because they ain't giving up that privilege. They're not.
That's how I look at
privilege.
it. That's what like, you know, Jim Brown, John Brown, the abolitionist from back in the day who gave up his life to help the black cause. If you are that willing to help out the black cause, then I say you're down. But I doubt white people in general are willing to do that. I think a small percentage of white people are willing to lay down their lives in order to help out black people.
Yeah, lay down their lives might be drastic. Yep, I agree.
But black people,
probably 1%.
Right. But black people, we lay down our lives to help out everybody, right?
Everybody.
I'm not laying down. Nope. Nope, not me. Not this black woman.
So
Shit,
that
you
was
lying. I go through enough.
So that was my only issue with the show. It was like you're trying to put out a message that black men are bad, white men are good. That's my issue with the show.
She attracts no good black guys. If that's the best she's ever been treated, it's on her. You're dating, broke black men or no good black men. Like, you're choosing those guys to be with. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like, there are options. I do agree. There are successful black men, intelligent black men with no felonies. It's up to you, though. You have to make a choice, you know? Right. So, yeah, like saying that is kind of like, but you know how the camera edits things too. So she could have said that in a whole nother case scenario, but they like put it all together. So then it's like, let's get this message out here. Black guys are bad. You know how they do it on TV. So
exactly.
Yeah.
And the same goes for black men who are dating outside their race and wanting to go with white women and what have you. Like, shame on you if you're putting down your own group of people in order to better another group of people. You are birthed by a black woman. You have black women as your relatives. How can you call out black women and say that they're bad? Exactly. So black people in general, we need to stop with this whole getting on each other. If you want to date outside your race, cool. But don't date outside your race and claim you pro-black. You can claim that you care about black issues. That's cool. But being pro-black means that you choose black first. Pro-black does not mean anti-white. Pro-black means you choose black first. Just like if you're pro-life.
Okay, so what if you chose black first? Now you're on your third choice. Could you date the white man then or no?
It's up to you. It depends on how strongly. Okay, so I'll share some personal information about myself. Okay. I'll share some information about myself. It depends how strong you are. Me personally, I always said I want to date intra-racially. I want to stay with a black woman, right? I've been through, and Random knows my stories. I've been through several occurrences, terrible experiences with black women throughout my lifetime. But did I take that and say that black women are bad? No. I looked at myself and I looked at my dating choices, who I was choosing to be with. And I said, I need to switch up the black woman that I'm going for. And because of that, I ended up in a good relationship with a black woman. So it was my choice. I consider myself pro-black, meaning I'm going to choose black first. That's not meaning I am against everybody else, but that just means that I am going to choose my race first. And I think there's no problem with that. If you are Asian, you're pro-Asian, you're going to choose Asian first over anybody else. That's like with any race. I don't think that's a problem.
Yo, I totally agree with you saying, but just real quick, Koi, what the heck is going on with your upside down camera?
Yeah, her camera turned upside down.
I have no clue.
Yo, okay. Sidebar. I know that was random, but I'm sitting here.
Did it just go? Okay, y'all.
Here.
This shit is on tilt. Fuck. Hold on. No, it said it wasn't even going to detect it.
I'm sorry, listeners. Jay Stokes was going in, but I'm just looking like, I can't even look at Koi no more. Damn thing upside down.
Looking in my head like, you see the shit I'm seeing? Because it was like your camera's not connected, all this crazy shit. I'm like, well, nobody said nothing. I guess I'm clear. I'll just keep it to myself. But clearly,
man, sorry, listeners, but I am random.
I guess that is the sign to move on to the next topic. So what I wanted to segue into from here is that Black women, I believe that Black women, because they are the most mistreated demographic in America, a lot of times they look for acceptance with other races, especially if they feel like their own race of men aren't treating them right. But we see an example of a Black woman that did well, and she's being criticized by white individuals. And this isn't an attack on white people, by the way, listeners out there. This is just, I'm just reading these stories. Beatrice Dixon is the founder of Honey Pot Company, which is a natural plant-based feminine hygiene company.
I heard about this.
And so basically she partnered with Target and she did a commercial in which she said she hopes to inspire the next generation of Black girls. And because of that, she got a lot of racist reviews by white people on her website and on other websites saying that the products are okay, but why'd you have to mention Black girls on the commercial? You're being racist towards white people. Random, what do you think about that?
Man, listen, the sad part is once you become a public figure, you kind of have to pay attention to the words that come out of your mouth. So even though I agree with what she says, I feel like she has to be careful. And this is why I said she has to be careful, because if you think about a lot of other hair products, you never really hear them say this is for white women. I'm trying to inspire the next white generation. So if they can't say that without us getting mad at them, then it's kind of like it's fair game. Yeah, it's fair game. She didn't have to say, I am, what did she say again? Something, what did she say?
She said, I want to inspire the next generation of Black girls. I want to pave the way for the next Black girls out there. Something along those lines.
She didn't have to say that in a commercial. She got to say that in a seminar. Let's be honest. No, seriously. She got to say that in a seminar.
Koya, if you got a rebuttal. Go ahead.
I mean, why do we always have to censor how we feel?
Preach.
And like Black women always have to censor.
Damn.
Okay, she left, so I'm gonna jump in. So cool. You got a point. Yes, Black women always exactly. So I feel like I agree with you, Coy. I'm not trying to. Yeah, now we hear you. I'm not.
Okay. Everything about this is ghetto. My fucking mic done fell apart.
Listen, we record on Skype, y'all. So I really think Skype be listening to our recordings and be muting people out.
All this shit that we talking about.
And listen, Coy, before you go in, I just want to say I agree with you. We shouldn't have to be censored. But in the same token, I feel like you don't have to say every time what's on your mind, because it should just be known. In the seminar, you could bust it out like that. It's a commercial. Let's be honest. Would we like it if someone, because so far, even though they may feel this way, no one, meaning a white person in a commercial has ever, or of a company, said, I'm trying to pave the way for white people. We would be up in arms. So that's all I'm saying.
But you have instances.
Who, Tommy Hilfiger?
You have instances where Latinas, they will say, I'm trying to inspire Latinas, and nobody has a problem. When they say,
I feel like Black women can't say nothing. You can't say nothing. Don't breathe too hard. Don't roll your eyes. Don't snap your fingers. Don't wear your weave too long. Don't do this. Don't do that. Like, please, okay? If she want to say it, say it.
But guess what? She can say what she want to say, but when you get the backlash, and
you're right. You're right. You gotta own that part
going down. Exactly. Listen, my motto is this: if you gonna say it, right, make sure you bring that same energy when your pockets start getting light. You gotta
Well, because of this backlash that she got, Honey Pot actually did great, because Black people went out in droves to buy her products. Even though they're feminine products, even men went and bought the products. Even Black men went and bought the product. So actually, her sales went up because of this.
Okay, listen, that's all fine and dandy. The backlash, but you know how just not even Black people, I'm gonna be honest, people in general, we got the microwave attention span. So it's all great now, first quarter, but what about fourth quarter? What about second quarter?
Oh, Honey Pot better stack that bread out. Shit, we can't solve it all the problems.
Exactly. So listen, only thing I'm saying is, as a public figure of a company, same thing with you, Jay Stokes. We always talk about this, you and I and Coy. it's certain things you probably want to say, but as the face of chemistry, you know, you censor yourself. And, you know what I'm saying? And you censor yourself only because you know it's a business first.
Right.
And that's all I'm trying to say. It's a business first.
But I can understand from her standpoint because less than 1%, according to Forbes, less than 1% of American venture capital backed founders are Black owned businesses. So I can understand why she wants to make a point of that, because she wants to get Black girls and Black women to become the next companies or businesses that are backed by venture capital firms, and she wants them to get to that level.
And Jay Stokes, I get it, but that's why they got Black Girl Rocks on BET. She got said it then.
Ooh,
she
dang.
I mean, yo, you don't say. Listen, man, we already know how it is in commercials, man. Once you do a commercial and it's not right, man, we gonna get
That's not really fair, though.
No, it's not fair.
Say that.
Okay, it's not fair, right?
Let Coy talk that talk. Talk, Coy.
No,
it's not fair because them gay boys be advocating their stuff.
Okay, but look,
nobody.
I remember that Dove commercial. Remember that Dove commercial when
the Black man turned.
Yes.
With a Black woman.
No, that's
right?
different.
Yes.
That's
that
different.
That was
though.
coonery, though.
That's
that
different.
has nothing
That's
to
coonery,
do.
right? That's coonery, right? But didn't they have to pay for it? It's a commercial.
No, but the thing is, so
who had to pay for it?
People saw a
signed up
snippet.
at Family Dollar.
Dove.
Nah, people saw a snippet of that commercial because chemistry. We posted about it on our Tumblr page. Basically, what happened was the Black girl took off a brown shirt and turned white, and the white girl took off a white shirt and turned yellow for an Asian girl. But they took the first part out, and they said the Black girl turning white, that's like programming. That's different because for years, Black people have been told that our dark skin is bad and we should lighten in it. That's why you have lightening creams over in Jamaica and Nigeria going crazy now. So that's a different level.
You say it's a different level, but what I'm trying to say is that it's a commercial. And a commercial says 1,000 words, right?
Yeah.
So I just feel like I do not have a problem with her saying it. That's okay, let me be clear. I do not have a problem with her saying what she said on a commercial, but understand for every action, there's a reaction. So just be prepared for a reaction to come. That's all I'm trying to say. And this is a common reaction. You know how it is. Listen, I follow people on IG, and it's amazing how, and I follow, like the Black Historian and another guy named, I think his name's Shaka. And a white follower got mad at the guy Shaka because he was bigging up Black women. And I'm like, dang, you're right, guys. Can we say anything without y'all saying, without them getting mad? Seem like we can't. Should we care? For Shaka, no, he shouldn't care because, he's IG. But like I said again, for the lady that needs more than Black people to buy her product, because let's be honest, you need everyone to buy your product.
Well, Black people have a lot of spending power.
No.
Let's not downplay that.
Everyone, though. No, but like I'm saying, come on. Okay, we're worth what? Our spending power is about what? 1.5 trillion, right?
It's a lot.
1.5 trillion is a lot, and that is great. But I like to have more than just 1.5 trillion.
Okay.
That's all I'm trying to say. You know what I'm saying? When you make a product, you're trying to make it, unless it's kinky curl, but somehow they're going to learn how to use it too. So, hey, listen, it's like cocoa butter. Cocoa butter ain't just for us, is it?
No.
I'm pretty sure they put it on their feet and everything else. So, that's all I'm saying. You don't think so? I know they don't watch feet, but now I'm just joking. But so I say all this to say is I do not mind what she said. It's just I'm not surprised with the reaction. Now, I think they're being petty because when it's all said and done, we all know what she meant by it. But that's just somebody that's trolling, has nothing else better to do with their time. That's how I feel. I'm not mad at what she said.
I just want to interject because it's funny to me that this situation, because it's white men and white women that were leaving racist remarks, right? But this Black woman and Black women in general, they won't look at white people and be like, oh, look, white people are mean, right? But if this Black woman got dogged out by Black men in her relationships, she would demonize the entire Black male demographic and say Black men ain't ish. So it's funny to me how people pick and choose what they want to highlight in terms of generalizing an entire group of people. Does that make sense?
Yes, that does make sense. And I'm glad you brought that up. That is so true. And it's sad, but guess who problem it is? It's our problem because we're the ones that always like pick one bad apple and say they're all bad, but only one is our race, just like what you said. But you're right. Why can't they take that same energy and say, no, you guys are all evil? They'll never do that. But that ain't their problem. I mean, that's not white people's problem. That's our problem. We got to program ourselves to stop always demonizing ourselves or not bringing the same amount of energy towards other race when we're upset.
Corey, you have anything to add?
Mm-mm.
Okay.
And now for a quick commercial break.
Hey guys, as you can hear, we are unapologetic in our opinions. We may be politically incorrect or possibly wrong, but don't knock us for being ourselves and saying what many are too afraid to admit out loud. Anyways, if you have any thoughts or questions about our show, email us at chemistryproductions@gmail.com. That's K3MISTRY productions@gmail.com. We'll be sure to address whatever you have to say.
Speaking of demonizing, has anybody been catching up on the coronavirus lately?
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
Even though there's a lot of fear mongering going on, the World Health Organization actually says that the death rate for coronavirus globally is 3.4%. That means only 3.4% of people are actually dying from coronavirus that catch it. Still don't want it, but still Chinese and other East Asians are being discriminated against in large numbers.
You know that.
Yeah.
All races.
I want to know what y'all think about that. Like, people stop buying Corona beers. People aren't going to Chinese restaurants. People are covering their face in the subway whenever they see a Chinese person.
That's dumb as hell.
Yeah.
All the Mexicans drink that. That's like Modelo. I know that's fine.
Yeah.
So, you know what? I'm not even going to lie. You know, it's kind of weird that you say that because I know when I drive by a lot of Chinese restaurants, they are totally empty. I'm not sure what's going on. But
the hair store's still popping in the nail salon because I'll be right in there.
Wow.
There you go. So,
wow, selective.
Mm-hmm.
Selective.
I ain't eating nothing, but I'll let them. Yep, I will let them do my nails still. I'm not eating nothing though.
Is it because they're wearing the mask when they do your nails? Is that why?
No, not that. I don't know. I just don't want to eat no Chinese food right now. I don't know. Save it when nobody else want to, just in case. But I need my nails done.
There you go. See, selective. But I ain't mad at you. To be honest with you, I feel like it's weird how this coronavirus is spreading more on the news than actual people. You know?
Yes.
The House just passed a bill for $8 trillion to combat coronavirus. I'm like, $8 trillion?
Kids going to bed hungry.
Yeah, exactly.
And if you guys remember, and if you guys can remember, Trump last week said that it's the Democrats that are in charge of this corona hoax. It's just a hoax. He actually said that in a rally last week. He says the Democrats and their hoax on the coronavirus. It's not that bad. That's what he said.
Well, but hold up. He might have a point. I hate to say
the Democrats?
No, because when you said
Democrats did it.
No, when he said it's not that bad, he might have a point if you think about the wording of it. It's not that bad. If people are catching it, but it's a low death rate, because people that have been dying from it have been immunocompromised anyway. So it's not like you got healthy people dropping. So he might have somewhat of a point. I hate to say so.
No, you're right. And I feel like ever since coronavirus came out, isn't this flu season? What happened to the flu?
The coronavirus is fighting the flu.
That's what I'm saying. What they battling for airtime? Coronavirus winning? I mean, no disrespect to listen. People are dying, so we're not really making that much of a joke of it. I'm just trying to figure out what happened to the flu. It's flu season. I got
Corona's trying to trump that.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, of course. Corona makes people, according to the news and the media, makes you drop dead. The flu, you just jack for a week and then you recover. So, you know, there's a different severity on it. If somebody tells me, I catch one thing, I die, and the other one, I'm just a little sick, then I'm worried about the one that's going to take me out.
Yo, the funny part is, have you realized, I don't know if y'all been paying attention to your jobs, but jobs ain't playing. Let you go to work coughing and sneezing. They're like, excuse me, can you go home? I mean, you can work from home, right?
The airport was crazy the other day.
Oh, see?
To do that.
Everybody have their gloves and their mask and just like, I was like, what the fuck is this? It looks so crazy. It looked like we were in a different something. It looked so
like
crazy.
Third world country, right? Like everybody freaking out. It's crazy. But you know, I ain't even gonna lie. So I'm leaving, going on a vacation starting Sunday. My wife and I, we are definitely bringing our Clorox wipes when we get on that airplane. Once we get to our destination, we good. Party over here. We get back on the airport, wipes, gloves. I'm not rocking the mask because the mask is just a waste of time. The mask is only good for if you got a cold, because God forbid somebody cough, right? You got your mask on. That mask going to keep that germ right inside your mouth.
It depends on what type of mask you get.
Well, I'm gonna get the best mask. I'm gonna get the mask. You know the mask that the meth labs are using. Them two side oxygen joints.
Wow.
Like Breaking Bad, Walter White. The one Walter White be wearing on Breaking Bad. I'm wearing those. They'll be like, yo, what the fuck is going on here? Who is this alien? Yeah, I ain't playing.
A lot of Chinese people are really getting hit by this in terms of the racism. And it's funny to me because a lot of times, especially for
anyway.
Right. Exactly. You mentioned going to the nail and hair salon. And I'm like, how many videos have we seen of Chinese people, Korean people, East Asian people in general beating up black women at these salons?
Excuse my language. Those bitches are so rude. I get them in line though. Like they're so rude. And it's like they're quick to take our money. But, like my best friend, she always got beef with the nail people. But that's because they're rude. And she's like, I'm spending my money here. You got to treat me with respect. They ain't trying to hear that. They still take the money. But the sad part is we still going to go because the Koreans got the nail game on smash. There's a couple of black girls here or there, but they're not, if we could support our own more, we would. But in that nail industry, the beauty industry, like they own all the hair stores, all the nail salons.
Yeah, and that's crazy how they own all of it in our communities. What's up with that?
Right.
That's the weird part.
That's our fault.
That's definitely our fault because I guarantee you, if we did own it, would anybody come? They probably think our prices are too high.
I would like I know, right? And be asking for discounts and shit, stuff that you won't even do when you go to the Korean people.
The thing is, though, with black businesses, we don't have much. Even though we have high spending power, a lot of times we don't have the resources in order to push out like a lot of products in droves. So a lot of times when Koreans or Chinese people come over here and open a business, they have the backing from their country, from their nation.
From their bank.
Right.
The
vendors
in the U.S.
give them stuff. Yep.
Like chemistry, we are a business. We are a small business. And I'll tell you from personal experience, us trying to handle finances and stuff like that, sometimes we have to charge a little bit extra because it costs a lot to produce something. Because it costs a lot to produce something, you have to get a return and you have to also charge it pretty high unless it's selling in bulk or it's selling in droves. So I can understand why black businesses, a lot of times they sell things for a little higher, but that doesn't mean the product should be bad or that the service should be bad. I'm not just going to buy from you because you're a black business. You also got to give me a good return.
Right. Like everybody cooking out their house. Don't serve me them dinners. They're like puppy chow on Facebook. I hate that shit. Get out of here.
Or please don't be serving me some seafood that tastes like nothing but Laurie's. I'm sorry, not Laurie's.
Oh, God.
Yo, not Laurie's.
What was that we had?
Yes.
Oregano?
No, it wasn't oregano, but you know what I'm talking about, right?
Parsley or whatever that shit was. On it.
Yeah, it was parsley. It was parsley, and it was also, what's that? That seafood.
Basil?
No, it's that seafood. Obey.
That shit was.
Do not be charging your arm and leg for Obey.
That's our thing, though. Black people love some Old Bay on that
Yeah,
seafood.
but if I gotta taste that Old Bay,
we like a whole lot of butter and some Old Bay.
Yeah, but if I gotta taste that Old Bay, I'm gonna need a lower price because I can make this shit at home.
Why? Because you gotta taste the Old Bay.
Come on, some people be ODing it on the Old Bay and oregano.
That's not fair, and that's not right.
Old Bay and oregano.
That's not fair, and that's not right. Don't do the black man like that. Those are our choices of seasoning when it comes to
some better seasoning.
Be mindful and respectful. No, just dip it in some more butter. And just come on. Don't do the black man like that. We love Old Bay.
Speaking of black folk, you seen that debate they were having on Ginger Ale online? They were saying what's better. I think it was like Siegmund's or Canada Dry, and they're like, "What is
Dry?"
Canada Dry.
Cass was going back and forth on this. This was crazy.
Anybody who says Schweppes or any of that,
Schweppes. I don't know why I said Siegmund's.
Yeah, no, Siegmund's is a ginger ale too, I think, and it's disgusting. The bottle looks funny. Don't even drink it. Like everybody know, if you want to feel better, get you a Canada Dry and call it a day.
You ain't lying.
It's like
something about the psychological.
That and a nap, you good to go after that, baby. You could take on the world.
You right about that. That.
So last thing, speaking of black folk, the last thing I want to talk about tonight, unless y'all got any other topics, was this Molson Coors shooting in Milwaukee.
You do.
Oh yeah.
So Remember, we were talking about the Molson Coors shooting in Milwaukee last time we had the show. So it turns out it was a black guy that did the shooting.
Who was provoked.
Right. So the guy's name is Anthony Farrell. He committed suicide, but he killed 5 other white men in the process. And the thing was, now reports are coming out saying that he, as Koya said, was provoked. There was a noose that was once placed in his locker in 2015, but reportedly it was removed from his locker before he came to work. So that tells me he was getting it for a while. He probably was getting this racialized, this racism for a long time. If someone felt comfortable enough to put a noose in his locker.
But how you know about the noose if it was removed by the time he got to work?
Exactly. And so they're trying to downplay it, saying that they don't know if it was racially provoked. But yeah.
I just hope they don't say it's a hate crime. Let me explain to you why. Because unless they changed it, which I think they did change it later on, but Karoof, is his name? Jay Stokes, you know his name. Come on, you got it.
The guy from South Carolina, Beto O'Rourke. Oh, South Carolina?
Yeah, the guy who killed the people in the church. Yeah. They didn't at first they didn't say that it was a hate crime. So
it was.
No, we know it was, but at first they didn't say it. But
I wonder if the families of the shooter are gonna forgive him. No. I wonder if these white families are gonna forgive him like we love to forgive other people. Black folk love forgiving. I wonder if the white folk gonna forgive this black guy.
Some black folks.
You ain't lying. Some black folks.
What they show in the news.
Oh, of course. Propaganda, man. You know how it is. Well, hey, listen, that's crazy. Cause I know our last show we were like, he can't be black. He can't be black. But
it's with reason. Not saying it was right, but I understand.
Yo, let me tell you something. It's amazing how many, when you think about it, when you look at your coworker, you're like, man, I hope they never ever fire XYZ because I ain't coming in. I do that a lot with some of my coworkers. Like, yo, if you fire him, let me know. I'm not coming in the next day. And that's all shades of color. I ain't coming in. And some people I'll be like, dang, you don't look too right in the head. Yeah, but
those are the people I make friends with at work. Those are my people.
But you know what? At the end of the day, rest
I
in
make
peace
nice
to the
with
family.
all the crazy people.
You know, rest in peace to the family who passed.
What if they're racist? What if they're part of the people that were terrorizing this guy?
Listen.
Oh, well, that's different. Like, racist and crazy is different.
Yeah.
Like, if somebody did that to me in 2015, they lucky he didn't shoot the shit up in 2015. He did them a favor. He spared them a couple extra years because you're not going to be playing me like that. You're not going to be disrespecting me. You're not going to be doing all that racist stuff to me. I'm not for that. So he did them a favor, give him a couple extra years, but nope. He was provoked, so that's going to be that.
Yeah, but just to let y'all know, we don't condone the behavior. We don't condone violence or killing.
And we don't condone disrespect either. Stop playing with black people like that.
Yes, sir. All right, Koya, get it.
You said to just say what needs to be said. Stop playing with us, please. Thanks.
I agree. Definitely stop playing with us, man. It's not a game.
We are not to be played with. Like, we ain't showed y'all that already. Like, hello, stop it.
Oh, the other thing y'all said from the last show, y'all were gonna get back on this short people topic. If you're saying you are a short person, that's like saying you less of a person. If you say you challenged, then that's like saying you got something wrong with you.
Yeah, you can't call him something. You know what? The next show we're gonna bring that up. We're gonna see what.
Maybe it's dwarf.
Remember, you said we were gonna revisit it again.
What about it?
What short people? Oh, you mean that little dwarf?
Oh my God, no! You said that.
Wrong name to call.
We were gonna talk about like what do we call short people?
Yeah, little people.
Oh, little people. Okay.
Yeah,
or
that's little people. No, midgets. We can't call them no more. Yeah, we can't
that's
call
derogatory.
That's
everything is
hermaphrodite.
Derogatory.
Hermaphrodite is
honestly, I think the F word is derogatory. Okay.
Yo, hermaphrodite is a derogatory
Other than that,
word.
I
think hermaphrodite is pretty cool. It sounds real scientific. I don't know what do you call them now.
Hermaphrodite kind of sounds like something in a freak show. It doesn't really sound that.
And what are we supposed to call them now?
Intersex.
Intersex don't sound like no sci-fi
They're part of
channel.
the LGBQTIA
people.
Right? I don't know. I'm just trying to make sure I got all the letters.
But speaking of P, they're adding another P for pedophile. Some circles, I'm not playing. Some circles have added another P for pedophile. I am not playing.
Well, guess what?
Why does the pedophile have to be in the group? What does that have to do with your sex? Because it's a sexual orientation.
Right?
Well,
No, it's not sexual orientation. It's an attraction because pedophilia is actually a condition where people are really attracted to kids. Like it's a true condition.
well, I'm glad you segued this. I'm not sure if y'all heard the news, but Nicki Minaj's husband was arrested for not registered as a sex offender.
And
You heard-
Meek Mill
That's why he
liked the
was arrested?
comment.
That's why he was arrested.
Yeah.
Yeah, he didn't
register.
register in the state of California, and that's where they live now. So you have
Oh.
to register in whatever state you live in. You know, so that way your neighbors can put the zip code in and they know that you are one of those. You know, they got that everywhere. Yeah, you're supposed to register. Whenever you move to a new state, if you're a pedophile or a sex offender, whatever you call them people, yeah, you gotta let folks know around you. This is
But
what
I
you're
thought
about.
he was already going to jail.
He did go to jail, but you know, when you're on probation or whatever, you still have to like register. You have to register. I think you have to be up there for like, I don't know, a long amount of time after the crime is committed. That's for sure. Like 10 years or so.
Wow.
I don't know. I don't know the time, but yeah, for a long
It's
time.
a long time. Yeah.
I'm just letting y'all know with the LGBTQIA plus community,
Oh,
the P
don't eat
for
The alphabet people.
the alphabet
Fuck it.
crew, I know. The P for pedophile is not incorporated in like the main circles, but I know in some circles
should
where
not
they
be.
do include that in there, like
I'm
men
sure.
going their own way. No, never mind. Sorry. That's a different thing. Sorry. Men going their own way. They're against feminism. That's another thing. But
Oh,
men and boys.
why do men have so much opinion on women nowadays? Like they are
all
so
do,
like
yeah.
back in the day.
It's disgusting.
Back in the
What-
day, men didn't really say, "Oh, women need to stop wearing wigs. Women need to," like they just never. The most they might have said was like, "A woman needs to be barefoot and pregnant" or something, which is like something a sexist pig would say, of course. But like nowadays, men have something to say about everything that women do. Like we don't talk about y'all.
We know the problem is, baby girl. I think that they always felt this way. Now they just it's like now it's just vocal. It's just like
Oh, because
Shut
we all
up.
have platforms, social
Yeah.
media. We just go on the phone and go crazy.
yeah, and it's
Mhm.
like, dude, shut up. You're not a woman. Who the hell are you? That's my mind.
Right,
Like
like-
seriously.
My issue is men saying anything about like women when it comes to abortion and stuff. That's a woman's body. The only time a man has any opinion on the abortion conversation if they're a partner with the woman, because that's your kid, your potential
I
kid
agree.
also. That's the only time. Otherwise, men have no say in the abortion conversation.
I agree. They always have something to say about, the way a woman dresses, how many partners or boyfriends she's had. Like, come on already.
I mean, my thing is this: if you don't like a woman with a lot of partners, don't date a woman with a lot of partners.
Right.
There you go.
That's
The
it.
end.
Versus passing all that judgment and broadcasting this and that. Like on social media, the big thing is like how women are having sex for $40, which I think is crazy. I can't even get my nails done, but to each his own. But they always say all these things about these women, like, "Oh, y'all still having sex for $40." Okay, but y'all still paying the 40. So what's up?
Yup.
Stay out of it. Stay out of it.
But-
If you
but the thing
paying the
is-
40, be done with it.
But the thing is, I do think like hoes, thoughts, what have you, they are necessary for society. Like they have their place. But
It's
my
the
issue
oldest occupation in the world, prostitution.
right. But my
a thing.
issue is more so when they're praised. I don't think we should be glorifying them, but we shouldn't be demonizing them either.
I
Just-
agree. I just say remain neutral. Like let women do what they want to do. If they want to be a prostitute, let them be a prostitute. If they want to be a housewife, let them be that too.
Exactly.
But the crazy thing is nowadays the prostitutes get turned into housewives. So it's like, well, damn, what do you do? Like the hoes really do win. And I think that's another thing why people feel like it's okay to glorify the prostitutes, because the strippers end up with husbands.
But I think the reason why a lot of the hoes and the strippers get the husbands is because they do, in essence, kind of subscribe to traditional gender roles, if you think about it. Look, their profession is serving a guy, right? Most guys want their woman in a subservient position or to be more submissive. That's what a stripper or a hoe does. Whereas a lot of women who are educated, they're very opinionated. There's nothing wrong with having an opinion, but I think that they go against that traditional, like, hey, men, head of household, or I'm going to cater to my man. They're like, nah, you cater to me. And a lot of guys ain't for that. So I think
Or let's
that's my
do it
theory.
50-50. Yeah, okay.
Right.
Okay.
That's my
okay.
theory. That's
Yeah,
my
because when I go to the strip club, I do get these girls go crazy. You have $20 in singles, you just throw it at them. They get so loose and they just go nuts. So I can see why men it's a cheap thrill. Women but that's the woman too, though. You got to set the tone for how a man is going to treat you. So if you out here acting crazy over 21s, then girl, God bless you.
You're
I don't
right. I think that the problem is we try to force our preferences on other people and not let people live their lives. So live your life. My issue is when it becomes problematic towards a detriment to society and it's negatively influencing other people, like the Love is Blind scenario, where I be thinking that sometimes the message might negatively influence other people. Koya, you have a very strong, opinionated, and smart mind. So a lot of these images won't negatively influence you, whereas the average mind, they might go with it and be like, oh, I should be like that, or I should subscribe to this opinion.
Nah, you got a point. Koi's definitely right, and that's one thing I do love about Koi. But on that note,
I'm back.
Okay.
Oh, you disappeared? That's why you were silent? I wonder why you were silent.
I text y'all, my computer died.
Nah, yeah, Jared, Jay still don't got his phone. That's why I try to cover it and be like, all right, guys, show over. And all of a sudden, you come back in.
I just paid you a good compliment, Koya. Jeez.
I'm about to say, show over.
No, Koya, I was saying that you have a very strong, opinionated, and smart mind. So a lot of these images in society, they won't negatively affect you. But for the average mind, they'll see these images like on Love is Blind, and they'll see these subliminal messages, and they'll believe it. They'll say, I need to subscribe to this, or I need to do this, even if it's not consciously being done. Yeah.
I ain't even gonna lie. If you see me with a white man, honey, I'm trying to catch a coin. I ain't even gonna lie to you.
Hey, I can't knock that. I
ain't even lying to you. If you see me with a white man, just mind your business, please. We going to the bank. Just please mind your business. I gotta get me and these kids straight. So, okay. Listen,
I ain't knocking the hustle coin.
Listen, okay, everybody, they've been plotting on us for years. They made friends with the slaves before they made them slaves. You know, everybody plays the game. Look,
Boy, that's why we got light skin. That's why we got light skinned people now. They've been raping the slaves.
Get into it.
People, I should say.
Okay,
yeah.
That's why we're all different colors and shades. Everybody plays the game. So if y'all see me with a white man, y'all know what it's about. Trying to collect my.
Just make sure he got some teeth, okay?
First of all, he gonna have teeth. he gonna look like the guy. He gonna be an attractive white guy. He ain't about to be no crazy looking white man. Hell no. I still got standards, guys. Oh my gosh.
Okay. Well, there you go. Okay, then I'm cool.
I just need a coin. All right, guys. So someone's looking for me downstairs.
All right, then. Well, AY, have a good night.
All right.
Bye, guys. It was fun.
All right.
Hope we don't get canceled. Bye.
Oh, you know it's on its way. We were just joking. Ha, 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 ha. Bye.
Bye-bye.
So go a little something like this. That's AVIOT.